Мне там, кстати, экспорт с YouTube не удался почему-то. Сейчас проверим. Да, один не удался, другой удался. А, нет, оба не удались. Или... Я хуй его пойми. Так, ладно, похуй. Идем играть. Продолжить. Ага, у меня же тут какая-то шиза. Значит, сюда. Опа.
Do you remember the scent of your childhood? You're not kidding anyone, Harry. Do you remember your wife's hand on your face? Do you remember the warmth of her thighs between her legs and
Бедер.
in her mouth? Oh no, funky baby, you stayed. It was the rest of it that left. Tell me, where are your friends? Human beings have friends, Harry boy. Where the hell are yours? They were only cramping your descent into the abyss. Now they're gone. 3 times gone. You failed Elysium.
Что за Elysium?
Everything. The Pale and the Isolas on the surface. The outer magnetosphere. Burning, furious truth. 8,000 years of rip. You really dropped the ball, Harry. 4.6 billion people, and you're not coming back from shit. Thrashing around in that high conductivity state of yours, bumping. Your mind is what now? I can't hear you. The rest is just a word dream. Jumbled up garbage. The pictures are gone. The bed rises to meet you.
So something is wrong. Sleep shouldn't be this bad, this dry, this unnourishing. There's something wrong with your thoughts. Some kind of new. Oh yes, party boy, and it's worse than the one before. Just think of the shit you saw. Here it comes too. So soon already. A silent alarm goes off in your head like clockwork. Barely let you sleep at all. Time to go to work in the shit factory.
Ча. Я опять раком проснусь, да? А, не.
Good going, buddy. Really? Because you feel even worse this morning than you did last. You mean, why are you so tired? Too tired and down to even think? It is worrying, isn't it? You can't be a detective like this. Detectives need to be able to think. That's not really true. Your heart has finally pumped all the... Don't do that. Stay strong. The hangover will wear off. You don't need to keep doing this to yourself. Speed is a potent central nervous system stimulant. It kept you propped up all day yesterday, despite your debilitating hangover. How else did you think you even got up from this floor? You got up from this floor because of a holy vow you made 16 years ago. With me. To wake up exactly 7:30 every morning until the day you die. Don't be silly. There was no vow. You were high on speed. That was the only reason you got up. You can't detect without it. Are you sure? Ready to live as this pathetic shell of yourself for days? Basically, a week. Let's be honest, 2 weeks. Maybe 3. You won't make it. Half the town will be dead by then. You will be fired.
Сука, даже не знаю. Я же гнида, по сути. Может, мне реально спидами закинуться? Давай.
Fast recovery, man. Quick turnaround. Super detective back in action. The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting. A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall. In it, your face, adorned with the expression. Still not happening. It won't come off that easy.
Ну и похуй. Эти спиды и разгоните кровь. Что это такое вообще, блядь? Я не понимаю до сих пор. На улице дождь.
The door is closed. Still.
Странно. Опа. Музыка как Life is Strange, блядь. О, привет.
Morning. Looks like we can get to work at once. The union muscle turned up. They look rowdy. We should talk to them. I completely forgot. Sorry, I had a rough night's sleep. It's them by the looks of it. Loud and nasty, just like one loose thread less to worry about, and one big problem to replace it. I mean ungovernable. Martinez isn't exactly enthusiastic about the RCM being here. They prefer to be policed by the union. These men here, men who drink beer for breakfast, there's talk of an armed wing of the union called the Hardy Boys, who are responsible for state policing. I think it's them. That would just escalate tensions. No captain would sign off on it. Solving one murder isn't worth a conflict between the RCM. In fact, even the death of 2 detectives might not warrant an all-out war. So let's keep a cool head, okay? A lot of things point to the dock workers union. The circumstances in Martinez, My preliminary information, that's not a lot of things. We should have dug up more yesterday. Still, we need to talk to them, and it won't be easy.
Ну пиздец.
One more thing before we do. We don't have to talk to them immediately. We can walk right past them, continue with our business.
Good. A power move. Purposefully concentrate on something else first. But aren't you curious to know what they have to say about the murder?
They're in no hurry to leave. They think they own the place. Anyway, I leave that choice to you.
Just a moment. And there's no public phones nearby?
The closest phone booth is down the coast. Sorry for the inconvenience, ma'am.
It's fine, I understand. Thank you anyway. I'm glad.
The lady is distressed. Perhaps something more upbeat might cheer her up.
Please don't trouble yourself about me, sweetie. I was just hoping to make a call, but the Whirling's phone line. The union office probably has a phone, but I can't really get there. Or to the phone booth down the coast. And Gary's phone is dead too. The manager was vague about it.
Why would he be vague about phone problems? This is something to look into later. Ask her.
To let the young woman who's house-sitting for us know that we may be delayed. Morel, my husband, and Gary were supposed to get back by Monday night, but they're still missing, and I haven't heard. I was also hoping she'd heard from Morel.
A little missing persons puzzle might just be the thing to take your mind off the hangover. You hear that? Someone's missing. There could be foul play afoot. That's right. Now skip the foreplay. Time to dive into the dark alleys. Start shaking down the usual suspects. You know, legwork.
That's just it. This isn't like him at all. He always plans his expeditions so carefully, but you have more important things to worry about. Oh, yes. A zoologist. A cryptozoologist, to be more precise.
It's a pseudoscience that attempts to legitimize research into mythological beasts and urban legends.
That's one opinion, yes. And people are entitled to their opinions.
My apologies, ma'am. I did not mean to undermine your hobby.
It's not a hobby, dear.
Почему здесь она
It's
блондинка,
a
а здесь
subfield of
брюнетка?
zoology, one specializing in animal species that are so exceedingly rare that many assume them to be extinct or even fictitious. Searching for such species called cryptids is difficult and often thankless, and frankly, many scientists are too lazy to do.
The quality of research at Revacholian universities has been on the decline. But you doubt there was... She's completely internalized her husband's struggles. They are her own. You're an
Да ёб твою мать.
enthusiastic idiot, but you're still an idiot.
We don't have time for Cryptozoology 101. Let's get back to work, shall we?
Oh dear, I'm not sure where to begin. Well, his expression is slightly grumpy, but his eyes are always bright and curious.
You can't go around Revachol feeling grown men's hands. If you want to find her husband, it's always a challenge to describe the person you know best in the world.
Oh, well, he's a bit shorter than you, but with a larger frame, and he has longish white hair, usually a bit uncombed. You might say wild, even.
The lieutenant pulls out his notebook and begins jotting down.
One other thing, he'll likely have all kinds of field gear on him, even if he's not out in the reeds, you know, just in case. We'll be celebrating our 16th anniversary this autumn.
Типа 16.
Not the most numerically satisfying anniversary, but I like the less obvious milestones even more somehow. Via dating agency, I'm ashamed to say. I was looking to get back into the scene after recovering from my accident, and he'd just divorced. We hit it off, and, well, here we are.
She's skipping over some important parts. Perhaps you'll find out more later.
I hope I've been useful. Just some field work, sweetie. Morel is a highly trained scientist. He and his assistant Gary are studying an extremely rare species of insect. But they should have returned by now. They were just going down the coast across the water lock to set a few traps. He said they'd be back on Monday. What could be keeping them?
The waterlock. That was broken.
Да-да-да.
Could this be it?
Oh my. What happened to the water lock? Well, whatever the cause, I'm thankful. To both of you. You've spared...
You're welcome.
I hate to ask, but if your investigation takes you to the other side of the coast, please do keep an eye out.
This will surely lead to a cryptozoological mystery.
Да-да-да.
Yes, some left-field scientific research is exactly what you need right now.
And if you see him, let him know Lena is waiting for him here at the Whirling. He gets so tangled up in his work that he may
Okay.
not know the water lock's been repaired. And it's cold out there. Oh, you're such a dear. Thank you, sweetie. Oh, sweetie, it's fascinating. But
The lieutenant gives you a sideways
Ну, я
glance.
хочу знать.
well, it's a phasmid technically, but
Ah yes, Phasmatodea, a diverse group of insects whose bodies resemble twigs, leaves, that sort of thing. Oh yeah. Here
where other phasmids imitate sticks or leaves, this one's a living, hence its name, the Insulindian phasmid. Perhaps you'll end up co-discovering the phasmid with us, officer.
I knew it. We're gonna be chasing made-up insects with
It's not made up, officer.
there's a hint of defensiveness to her retort, but also confidence. She seems to sit up a little straighter in her.
It's simply elusive, so much so that most establishment
Да,
zoologists doubt it exists at all. Oh, I doubt it. No one gets into cryptozoology for the money, sweetie. Yes, it can blend in almost perfectly among the reeds.
Блядь, за бред.
Not at all. Why else would it hide itself so carefully? Well, some teenagers making out in the reeds saw one. Of course, most phasmid sightings turn out to be false alarms, but their description, oh dear. I'm afraid I'm not explaining this very well. Morel can explain it all much better.
There's really no point in manipulating anyone. She'd be only too pleased to tell you about her work. Go on and ask.
Oh, I'd be delighted.
one cryptid, not a couple. One. This won't turn into some kind of cryptid extravaganza.
Что?
And I don't. Just
Or he'll be disappointed. Ooh,
Ладно.
tough choice there.
Да сука, еще и один. Да даже и знает. Самый опасный, маленький, большой. Бывают невидимые криптиды.
What an interesting question.
Of course. All fairy tales have someone or something invisible in them.
Да-да.
It's the 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕚𝕤𝕚. Its name means thin whisper of sound.
Да.
𝔻𝕚𝕚𝕚 can also be translated as a whisper light and low.
Yes, that's another translation. Although the low part is a little ironic. The 𝔻𝕚𝕚𝕤𝕚 makes, or rather,
Fine, I'll bite. How can an animal be a sound?
many scientists have asked the same question. Some have claimed that it isn't itself a sound, but a
Что за
tiny
корпускулы?
corpuscle that emits sound waves. But there's no evidence to support this. It could be. As I said, it could be everywhere. Plenty. It's the evidence that led to its discovery. When playing back recordings they had made in the foothills of the 𝔻𝕚𝕚 mountain range, they noticed certain anomalies, patterns that seemed random at first, but on closer examination, the scientists soon discovered they could track and even predict.
She transforms when speaking about these strange animals.
They realized that they had discovered a new species and they grew quite obsessed with these little birds. Sequester, Time, Joscan, those are but some of the 𝕚𝕚𝕚𝕚. That is a sad story. A group of university students assisting with the field work in their enthusiasm for they tried to communicate with it and had no other means but sound. So they started
О, бля,
sending
какая
This lady
ересь.
really should be a teacher. She's psst. They cancel each other out. Psst.
Exactly. And these tests were performed so recklessly that when they happened upon the right frequency, well,
Great regret washes over her. A winding cloth.
after that, the corpuscle appears to have migrated elsewhere.
Of course. A common thread in these. Disappearance and unfalsifiability. I like the story, though, ma'am.
Сейчас.
I'm glad you did, dear. What about what?
Вы самый опасный.
Hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
Блядь, ну Ким.
The lieutenant pauses thoughtfully.
А что? Jamais vu. И чё?
Something in him breaks.
Давай.
Ah, fuck it. Let's have more cryptids.
Well, the most dangerous cryptid is thought to have been the gnome of 𝔻𝕝𝕚𝕚. None of its victims survived. Grieving relatives never even found their bodies because the gnomes... It was reportedly a small creature with webbed fingers and a protruding forehead. A couple of campers found it when it was already dying. They heard it still took the gnome of 𝔻𝕝𝕚𝕚 and
If the body of the creature was found, why aren't there detailed illustrations of it in science textbooks? Confirm.
Alas, the first scientist who got his hands on the creature's corpse put it in a jar of... Instead,
Ну, он умер, да?
all the venom leaked out of the creature's teeth and into the surrounding liquid,
Да.
dissolving the creature itself.
Звучит
Alas,
правдеподобно.
always, alas, and then it was gone. Isn't that overly convenient? Sure, a perfectly good explanation. It dissolved in its own venom. Go on.
Какой самый
That
большой?
would be the giant of 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤. The giant lives in the most arid parts of the vast 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 Desert in South Sahara. The towering luminosity of 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 is a bad omen in local folklore. No one knows for sure. It is like an
Oui. No animal can be that large. It's a mirage.
That's what makes it so peculiar. A species surviving at the very limit. There are limits, you see, to how large a metabolism an ecosystem can be.
Great. This is great shit. You need more.
Блин, а может у нее спиды попросить, кстати? Видимо, да, у нее хорошая тюрьма какой-то.
Gravity anomaly? Digging it. Digging this parascientific
Да,
stuff right
сам
here.
маленький.
Cryobacter catlensis. Yes, a unicellular bacterium that was discovered in one of the northernmost points of
Так.
The bacterial colony 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 found had remained alive while frozen in ice for longer than anyone could reliably estimate. 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 disappeared shortly after injecting herself with the bacteria she had brought back to study, no doubt in hopes of prolonging her own life.
Бессмертный геолог.
Yes, and she's quite mad too. After we can assume that she has been living somewhere in the wilderness for
я ещё хотел.
Yes, the bacteria 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 disappeared shortly after injecting herself. Yes, the bacteria had.
It's actually a little hard to see. But do go on.
Oh, sweetie. It's not all quite so off. After 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 treated herself with the bacteria, she stopped. We can assume that she has been living.
Да хватит, я не дочитал.
𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 disappeared shortly after injecting her. Everything has a price. After 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 treated herself, we can
Понятно.
assume that she has been living somewhere in
Последний
the
раз.
wilderness. Yes, the bacteria. 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 disappeared shortly after injecting herself. Wow, yes. Impossible? No, everything. After 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤, we can assume that she has been living. Of course, dear.
You know, to hell with it.
Of course, officers. Of course, dear.
Ну я все. Я чуть не умер. Надо пересесть. А я не могу ничего. А? Что?
𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤. Derealization.
Это что за хуйня?
𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤. The opposite of déjà vu.
А,
Not already seen, but never seen. Everything that should be familiar appears strange and new, like some half-forgotten day in your childhood.
чё,
Only
как это?
now. That's the feeling you've been having. And for who knows how long. You should go and ask Joyce Messier about this. What world are we in? This is a fundamental question.
За каждую проверенную сферу? Сферу кого? Что? Кого? Лимит всех навыков повышен на 1. Неплохо. Я, правда, нихуя не понял. Я могу забыть о нем. Чё, Джойс, концептуализация? А чё вообще? Желтый полиэтиленовый пакет фриты. Я вас понял.
Can I help you? Got the 20 real?
Да.
Good. You got the room for the night, but remember, you'll need another 20 real.
Я понимаю, у меня еще на 2 ночи примерно. Ну, по-хорошему с ними нужно попиздеть. В мире завязан на деньгах. Мне похуй. О. Чё тут-то? Это чё? Помидоры порезаны до прозрачности тонкими. Блять, я так и не научился так делать. Я не знаю, как это
A
люди
thin
делают.
man is smoking below an exhaust hood, occasionally sipping from his mug. As you step in, he nods toward the table and says something in a completely foreign language. The only words you can make out are 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕚𝕤 and 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤.
Кубик все забыл.
Okay, it's definitely not his name. Whatever you do, please don't call him 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤. Please. It's not
А,
funny.
Гораций. У меня как пару вопросов. Блять. Господин Кубик есть в полиции. Ладно, не буду. Здравствуйте. Бля, это хочу.
The man puts his cup down and replies something, his left hand drawing arcs in the air.
Кстати, текста можно чуть поменьше. А, понял, нет, туда не надо. Че хотел-то? Операция с Twitch, мне даже интересно. Размахивали левой рукой. Следующая кастрюля.
He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
Он же черный, почему тут белый? Как это работает?
It's almost like music, especially with the sounds of assorted dishes boiling and simmering on the stove.
Что за
He looks
дверью?
up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging. Shrugging is an international sign for, no, I don't know what's behind that.
Да. Спасибо за помощь.
You see a heavy
Сука, я когда-нибудь, блядь, я туда зайду.
Let me handle this.
А,
Detective disorientated. Are you still wondering where you are?
есть такое.
This is Martinez, in case you've forgotten. I advise you not to open.
Her entire character has shifted. This young woman is cold as ice.
Ты
No,
садовница.
I am not a gardener. I'm a legal counselor for the Dock Workers Union.
А,
So let's get to it. You're looking for Titus Hardy? You think he has information that will help you? Maybe he does.
мужчина справа от себя. Вот он.
That's Titus. Talk to him. But know this. I'll be keeping an eye on you. No strong arming. Nothing official. The District of Martinez does not recognize your authority to make arrests.
It doesn't matter if you recognize our authority. We will make an arrest if we have to.
She says nothing. Her glare speaks for her.
Бля, ебло такое. Харкнуть хочется.
Like I already told you, I'm a legal counselor. Do you have hearing problems?
Юрисконсульт? Это кто нахуй? Сейчас загуглим. Кто такой юрисконсульт? Правовед. Понятно. Допросить не Тита, а тебя.
What you want is of no significance, officer. Don't test your...
I saw what you were thinking. You want to say, what are you going to do to me? Don't. Just because it's in your head doesn't mean you have to. You will not lose out on anything good by not saying it.
А то что вы со мной сделаете? Сука, так хочу спросить. Почему они меня затыкают? Вы просто голоса в моей голове. Че такая агрессивная, а?
Aggressive. You make your living enforcing violence. These people are just dock workers.
So you were spying on us, and now you represent murder suspects. just dock workers.
Ну то вы чё, охуели?
Listen, you 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤 luckies. You're a mob enforcing the unlawful privatization of Revachol. 20 fat men in the Occident are stealing it all, and you're their bodyguards.
Fuck yeah.
So ask what you came to ask, or get back to your commanders.
Да, и прикольно.
Look, a comedian. Do your job, ask your questions, then get out of Martinez.
Strange. It's as if people don't believe a cop could be a socialist revolutionary.
А то что вы со мной сделаете? И
What are
чё?
we going to do to you?
You were specifically asked not to say that.
Да отъебись, я чё хочу, то и говорю.
Anyway, you junior delinquent.
Да пошёл ты
The
нахуй.
union isn't going to do anything to you. It is not a crime
А,
syndicate.
коммунисты не преступная группировка, я понял. В этом мире они трудовая организация.
Goddamn right it is.
If anything, it is the RCM who do things to people.
Тогда с Титом попиздим. Я запомнил. Ничего с тобой не сделается, что, поняла? Давай-ка на всякий случай быстро сохранимся.
This is where you say you're a bit.
He's used to giving orders and having them obeyed immediately. You should not indulge him.
Detective.
Oh, this is about.
You're sure taking your time, waiting for him to get right.
Oh, he was a real pretty boy by now. Real hot stuff.
Time to go to work.
Easy, boys. These janitors have a hell of a job cut out for them.
You might want to start asking your questions now. It's not
ты
going
кто?
to get better than this.
Мы знакомы?
These guys are so macho, they're ready to confess to first-degree murder. Ask if it was them.
Думаешь?
No. I's here. You got business with my boys. You got business with me.
Окей, значит, ты главный.
He understood what you were doing, taking inventory of them. Now watch the other guys fuck it up by falling out of line.
Yeah, you fuck with the Hardy boys, you fuck with Titus Hardy.
Ну, не то, что крысиное лицо, хотя...
Yes, falling out of line to please him. This is the best kind. And now this guy is going...
Relax, Dennis. No one is fucking you yet.
Use it to take a dig at his friend. Floodgates open.
Yeah, Dennis, calm down. No one's fucking you, you stupid fuck.
Let Dennis enjoy his fucking, man. We don't mind.
Только мискиц. Сарамирезец. Чё?
This one knows how to keep things going. He's a hothead, but not one to be taken lightly. The last one is a bit of a black sheep.
Yeah, you're not even being fucked, Dennis.
Кто такой Деннис? Я что-то упустил?
Easy, fellas. We got company. Let's see what brings the cop around.
Too late. You already got a pretty good picture of these guys. You can use this.
Fucking say something already!
The pretty boy. You guys really love talking about that pretty...
Funny. But my partner and I have a serious matter to discuss with you.
Well, maybe you should just fuck off then.
Don't worry. We are resourceful. We'll find a good topic for us to discuss.
Инкриминирующее?
Incriminating. Now that's a big boy word. Well...
Don't worry. We are resourceful.
Угу. А ты чё, пиздёнка, шоколадно
I've got
скажешь?
nothing to say to you.
А, ну, пососёшь как-нибудь. Подмети тут, блядь, грязно. Так, а мы... А где выход? Да. Нам на выход. Это чё? Снег?
Was that? Could it be the 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕚?
Не.
No, it's probably just your imagination. There seems to be an extremely high-pitched ring. Ultrasonic. Lena said it was very high-pitched, right? It's like Lena also said that it couldn't be heard by any other animal, including humans. What you're hearing must just be a regular bird.
No, I don't hear the 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕚.
Of course he doesn't. He's deaf. There it is again. You're about to rediscover a long lost. It must be very close. Maybe, just maybe, it will come toward you. Oh no. The sound. It's moving away. Somewhere over there.
Куда?
No. Too late. It's gone. There is no ringing anymore. Just the sound of the streets. Keep your ears peeled, then. If the species really has migrated to Martinez, you're sure to hear it again.
𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕚. Ёба народ. Давай усвоим. Ну, собственно, нам, кстати, нужно... Звонить не надо? О!
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone,
Бля, какая тачка,
pull-out
Цураги.
toolbox, and the soft glow of the fuel preheater gauge.
Может, он позвонить?
57. How may I assist you? Just a second. Sylvie? Yes. Hello?
Это полиция сидит.
What else do you need, detective?
Вы не видели удостоверение мое?
I know who you are. You're a police officer.
This exact conversation has happened before. Establishing authority before this young girl seems to have been important to you in the past. Don't go there again.
Oh, no.
Real policemen have uniforms too, by the way. Where's yours? He's in plain clothes, voluntarily. It's different from not... There are officers who wear the signature. You hear...
Anything else I can help you with, 57?
In the cabin, you...
Спасибо, до свидания.
Now it's turning into a kind of a snow limbo, man. What's on your mind? Ah, man. Me and narcotics go way back. Had some good times surfing the psychic waves of my own consciousness, you know? But those days are behind me. There are other addictions in my life now. Why the inquiry, my man?
Что сказал? Инкюли. Ну, инкриминируешь, понятно. Что ты меня обвиняешь, типа, ты спрашиваешь, интересуешься. Я не спрашиваю, я интересуюсь. Мне это заторчать, я ищу дилера.
Hey, man, that's serious criminal talk. Are you trying to pull some sort of an entrapment thing on me?
Нет.
Entrapment is a practice whereby an officer of the law induces a person to commit a criminal offense that the person would have otherwise been unlikely to commit, usually through some trickery, persuasion, or fraud.
We have a credible lead, sir. Someone on this roundabout is waiting for a bulk shipment from the harbor to load it on their lorry and drive.
Not me, man. No way. I don't need any trouble. Shit's bad enough anyway. This jam's got folks up in arms, and I'm afraid it's headed toward a conflagration. Gotta guard the stuff. Bosses don't look kindly on missing cargo, and it gives me time to work on my rhymes.
A rhymesmith? This is quite credible. It goes with its cadence and way of speaking.
Look, man, I try to stay away from the criminal underbelly of Revachol. I'm a guest here.
We wouldn't say he's lying, sire.
Опасно 13. Давай.
Your
Да,
best
сука.
verse. You don't even have a bad verse in here. Just tumbleweed and liquor stains. Wait, no. What are you doing?
Она сломала меня, она меня нахуй
That's
сломала.
brutal, man. But you know, time will...
No, stop. He's already sanctified.
Нет, Томми, это мои тексты. Слушай. Она меня до крови разъебала.
In the name of God, what are you doing?
Это поэма.
Yeah, I get that, and it's cool, but... Yeah, I get it. These are your rhymes. They're from your life.
He's not lying. He liked the end.
Yes. And I also thank you for stopping. We have a drug investigation to return to. How
Ну, это
about you
потом
do
можно
that?
будет откатить. Положь мне все, пока. Тим, ну ты зануда. А чё я не могу? Там бабка еще на месте, давай с ней попиздим. Старая, ты замерзнешь, блядь.
Lowman, you called me.
Вот, ну понятно.
A lorry stuck in the traffic.
Не надо. Мы хотим работать. Давай опять с тобой попиздим.
Right to work.
Пизду. Стоп, что?
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you?
Вообще, что вы все со мной не знакомы. В случае забастовки откройте крышку, нажмите на кнопку. Герметичная дверь заперта на электронный замок. Бля, слишком громко. Нахуй я прибавил. Но все равно достаточно шума. Так, там давай-ка сохранимся.
Yes?
Да ничего. Здравствуйте.
Your body betrays your degeneracy.
Yeah, Measurehead. His body totally betrays his degeneracy.
Don't say anything. Size him up first.
Are you admiring my morphophysiology?
Да. Что у за татухи такие ебанутые, непонятные, вернее.
It must be frightening to stand in the shadow of this racial pinnacle. Be calm, Sandwich. You are not in danger. Because
Ну почему, блять, его сделали таким тупым? Что это за...
What is this androgynous display of sexual maturity?
Merely standing up makes you sweat profusely. Your breathing is erratic. Your own heartbeat in your ears grows frantic, and you feel your blood pressure rise.
Stop it! You are embarrassing yourself in front of this woman and your pedomorphic friend.
Pedomorphic.
This display of weakness may appeal to older women with a stronger maternal instinct.
Jean-Luc, his body is betraying his degeneracy pretty hard. Maybe you can ask him to leave.
Блять, ну что ты, кто? Это она? Или она? Правда она?
You have succumbed to Al-Ghul. You reek of it. An invisible sword of Al-Ghul emerges from your throat. You cannot see it, but others can. It is making the woman in my company sick.
Al-Ghul? Ras Al-Ghul?
Al-Ghul.
He means alcohol.
Correct. My small skull servant. Al-Ghul is an ancient 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 poison, a parasitic fungus that has colonized your race. It is a trick the desert pygmies played on you for humiliating them and stripping them of their land.
Пустынные пигмеи? Ты кажешь, евреи изобрели вино.
Intentionally fermented drinks have existed for 10,000 years.
This is a fabrication the alchemists of Yizot and Bashir and their Golem Al-Ghul have fed your people. Go on believing in it, race loser. Good. There is a frit nearby. Congratulate yourself with a...
Oh yeah, Measurehead.
Блядь, это заебало,
This is going well for Measurehead.
It's not good.
It's like a rat crawled into your stomach, got drunk and drowned.
Блядь.
No, you don't. You need to get another drink. Occidental Haplogroup B4 is done giving orders around here. The influence.
Show him the ham still got it. Does this remind you of someone? The guy down there?
Begging for help. Attempting to pass via for cooperation. How far the Occidental haplogroup has fallen. You were once and you gave the world eugenics, electricity, and powerful weapons of war like missiles and aerostatic aircraft. You made great gains in metallurgy. You dominated lesser cultures, like the deformed Hemians and the inexplicably potato-obsessed Kroikos. But now your ascent to the genetic summit has halted. You will be superseded. Isn't that—
It is, baby, yeah. You—
There is a button right behind him, just out of reach. It must be the one that opens the door to the harbor.
It is my task to keep the degenerate drunks from entering the harbor. Enough with this begging. You should leave the stage of history with bring your troops to the 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 Islands and to Boogie Street, and we will pulverize you. When you are gone, we will build a museum. The walls will be lined with bottles of Al Ghul, your beloved beverage. Inside, we will store the odes to homosexuality you call art, and your microcephalic skulls.
There may be a peaceful solution to this. You could internalize 𝔻𝕤𝕤𝕤's race theory. He would take you as one of his own. The down with racism thing. That's basic race theory. This is way above that. Way.
Свалить его с ног. Да, отличная идея. Если же просто начнут не с парнями Харди.
I am not the first line of defense. I am the last. In addition, these so-called Hardy boys are an effeminate clique of bodybuilders. Their company is spiritually degrading.
You pick up on something artificial in his tone, like he's putting on an act. This is unlike him. He is usually more himself.
The Hardy manlets are on the pay of the company. I answer to the union alone. And I do this out of race heroism. Now leave me be. I must luxuriate in the company of... Fine. They have recently fallen under the influence of a possibly sexually. Find out for yourself.
Interesting.
Racists are generally not very good examples of their race. I am not like them. I am craniometric perfection. I have taken the trouble to permanently draw a phrenologic grid on my skull.
The drawings are precise. and look true to their pseudo-scientific ambitions. One thing, however, it is not entirely free of throwbacks in the phylogenetic tree. His large jaw, for example, could be a trait indicative of criminalism.
Ну это же ламброза какой-то.
Could be small.
Мочки ушей вообще никакой. Никакой роли вообще не играют. Если мы берем Евгенику. Уши вообще никак не связаны. Череп, да. Лобные доли, там, скулы, да. Челюсть тоже. Нос, глаза. Вот уши нет.
That atavistic stigmata makes
Babe, thanks. You have him off guard now. He's preoccupied with this situation with his woman.
Don't be vulgar. White or not has got little to do with...
There must be some friction there. He's keeping it well hidden, however.
Mr. Claire is a man of vision and means. He has the will to confront polycultural capital. Something you're also. To serve is noble. It takes discipline. Your petulant individualism has only contributed to your race failure. It is lax and moronic.
Что? Я не коммунист.
Of course you are, Revacholian man. The failure of communism to challenge the world order is the core of your race fate. All around you, above all, rampant multinational finance still reigning large. Tell me, where have you gotten your love of pathetic communism from? Degenerate youth culture? Rock and roll music? Stop explaining yourself. No one cares about your beliefs. The conversation has moved on. Tell me, what degenerate subculture had? Of course it does. You are a degenerate individual. I am not surprised you enjoy it so much. This has happened to many of the side products of the inevitable cultural victory of the 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 race. The South Island race, haplogroup A4A. We are the rightful masters of. We are the future. That is all you need to know. I am a descendant. The narrow streets of 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕤 are with me in my genetic dreams. I see young 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤's women walk into the grey mass on Ile-de-Fantôme. No. I have heard about...
He would be appreciative if you did not further chase this line of inquiry in front of the women.
Клево.
Yes. This could have made him more open to discussing the race enigma with you.
I think this racist is better than the last, but the next racist will be the really good one.
That will be the...
Расист на счастье.
There always is.
Race is reality.
17 уже.
Ask what kind of races there are first. Classification is core to this stuff.
Do you?
There are 3 categories of race. Type A, the heroic races.
Тип, он сказал.
Type B, the servile races. And the vile CF race cauldron of pederasty. Which one do you need education on? I knew you would go straight for the vile cauldron. Everyone does. You need to first learn about type A and B to appreciate the depravity of the...
Yeah, I mean, otherwise, it just won't make any sense.
Yes, it would seem nonsensical.
Давай.
Those are the 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤, the Areopagites, and the Occidentals, excluding the Maun,
Азиат, короче.
of course. The Maun are riddled with eczema to the point where they find a receding genetic pool has led the Maun on reprehensible street parades. In Maun cities like
Или арабы.
wearing wooden clogs on their feet and little green tassels on their hats. You know them by the names of their nation states.
Mahoon is a derogative term for first world people of Gotwaldian descent. They do not all have eczema. Also, people of Katla, like the Suru and the Uhu, are much more lactose intolerant. In some municipalities of Oranje, people do wear shoes made of wood to street parades. Green, orange.
The Maun are proof that you can have too much Occidental racial purity and tassel-centric culture. Inbreathing has left the Vespertines and Messenians of Vesper and Messina, the ancient Meteorans of Meteo by the golden Pisantic Sea, the Suren of Sur-la-Clé, and even the North Königstein. The other large Mondial civilization, the Mesk, are too yellow and oleaginous to count as a heroic race. True, they are violent and expansionist, but they have a glandular problem. Overproduction of sebum. Sebum is leaking into their brains, making them listen to El Mariachi music and eat toxic minced meat-based food. Which, as proven by the Maun and the Mesk, Occidental type A is in retrograde. The 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 and the Areopagites are on the ascent. The indigenous people of this, the Insulindian archipelago, the 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤 inhabit the southern islands. The Areopagites are the master race of the 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕤 deserts. The 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤 are descendants of the Areopagites.
Wait, didn't 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕤 desert pygmies invent alcohol and get pillaged just a short while ago?
No, those were scimitar-wielding race losers of Zahrava, Izzet, and Bashir, with their Himmi servants. Big difference. The Areopagites were fasting and conquering while this happened. You never penetrated the western dunes.
А что здесь?
Jean, baby, you're on fire.
I know, Bay. The
Продолжить испытывать
Areopagites are
мудрость.
sleek, long-headed. The 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤 are powerful, mesomorphic. The former is an 𝔻𝕻𝕪𝕤𝕤𝕤 the latter is perfected and adapting. Together they form the 𝔻𝕻𝕤𝕤𝕤
Суперраса. Нихуя себе.
super race. That is all.
Nature was not capable of more.
Тип B.
Type B are the unheroic races, amorphous non-competitors of the great race. The Khoikos and the 𝔻𝕉𝕬𝕤𝕤, they are mud-colored people.
The Khoikos of Grad, Yugo, Zhimsk, Shest et al. Are what you would call white, officer, in a suspect description.
Yes, to an untrained eye, the Khoiko appear white and pinkish, like a ham sandwich. But look into their eyes and you will see. They are of an indistinct color, and so is their skin. Unhealthy, muddy, and ashen. Pinkness is a racial quality that has to be earned through centuries of advanced ballistic warfare and cultural domination that the Grad people have undergone for drinking Al-Rul and smoking the degenerate tobacco. The Khoiko, the countless micronationalities of Grad, are all inexplicably obsessed with Podat. The only thing they like more is dividing into microscopic ethnostates. Like,
Wouldn't he be one for ethnostates?
the 𝔻𝕉𝕬𝕤𝕤s, halfway between type A and the racial cauldron. Too mixed to know right.
Is it 82,000 years that we've been recording history? You have very little idea of what is happening, but that seems a little off.
The revolution came to Ravachol from Grad, in Zarath-ridden potato carts. It is literally an ill. The revolution is fatal familial insomnia. A hereditary prion condition passed from the Khoiko to the Occidental. Enough of Tibet mediocrity. Types CF are a museum of failed chimeric experiments and tragic maladaptations. They are tortured creatures waiting to be put to sleep. Your morbid interest in them, lesser races like the mosquito, a grotesque mixture of a masked woman and a 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 man. Only possible if the mother is masked and the father 𝔻𝕻𝕤𝕤. The other way around, they failed. The mosquito is born sterile, like a donkey. All they have left is to ride customized motor carriages with hydraulic suspension, listening to aggressive El Mariachi music to vent.
It seems unlikely that two human beings produce genetically sterile offspring.
You are right. You have misunderstood. You lack basic phylogenetic education.
The sage will not budge on this.
Then there is the 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤
Chimera.
Are you sure you wish to know of the 𝔻𝕻𝕤𝕤𝕤 chimera? It is not an aesthetic site.
Ну да.
The Khoiko, as you know, are very servile, especially when they meet the rich man. But this will never happen. The 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤s and the Khoiko may, but enough. It is cruel to entertain ourselves with the deformities of type CF. Where you understand nothing. To solve the great race enigma, you have to first ask yourself, What is the race enigma? You have not even worded the mystery, let alone solved it. You need to internalize what you have heard here today, then return to me. This clarity does not come instantly. I cannot possibly imagine what else we have to discuss, 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚𝕚. Your love for disco music?
The 15th Indo tribe. Because there was. The 15th Indo tribe was comprised of 8 kids from Forberg and North Jamrock, running from wild dogs in the valley, hiding scents under rocks, and stealing clothes off clotheslines, and sometimes even the copper wiring of phone lines. You may have been one of them. This must be a childhood memory. The 15th Indo tribe was your Indo tribe, set to rule.
В чем заключается загадка рас? Добавьте идею современной теории рас в ячейку дерева идей, чтобы освоить ее. Если нет свободных ячеек, освободите ячейку, продолжить некоторое время. Когда идея усвоится, возвращайтесь к голове. Вот что значит современный мыслитель. Ёб твою мать! Как мне разблокировать? Если нажму забыть, что будет? Сколько у меня их? Погоди. Тратить одну очко навыков. Давай. Ой.
It's clear you like the hard stuff, Bruder.
Mein Bruder.
Lower intestine. The term is metabolic and fascism, Bruder. Many things, but it's mostly about trusting your gut. Who does your gut tell you is the source of Revachol's problems? Yes, them. Women. Women. Men of word.
Men.
You don't like them. They're insane. Their idiocy needs to be scrubbed off this world with rubbing alcohol. Woo men need to go back to the fucking kitchen. That's what fascism boils down to. The rest is also important. But the main thing is that woo men need to know their place. Stomach truth. You're having a stomach truth. Because you've said the hard things that others won't say. The good things you've said many times.
Хорошую вещь, много раз говорит.
Okay, yes, that sounds much better. Traditionalism. You're going to keep your views, right? Keep your views, Brota. For the nation, smart. Best not to mention the women too often. That's why you're the head and I am the stomach.
Фашизм национальной принадлежности вообще нет. Ну ладно.
Of course you are, Bruta. Of course. A wink-shaped growl sounds from your ass.
Это тоже надо усвоить, что национальный город за Ревашой. Блядь. Окей.
𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚𝕤𝕚.
Я тебя понял. И что мне делать?
Right to work! Right to work! Shame on you!
Not before you get in there and get your ass whooped. Learn by failure, I always say.
He might have some advice, but you got to at least try to fight Measurehead first. Return if you...
Ой. Что скажешь, Ким?
Yes?
Понял.
Hello, compatriot. You have some drugs? They're shit, man. I don't let anything pollute my body. You know where that shit comes from? 𝔻𝕚𝕪𝕤𝕚𝕚, 𝔻𝕝𝕪𝕤𝕚, 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕐. They take the money from our local... They know they can't beat us in a fair fight. So they have to get us to weaken ourselves somehow. It's racial sabotage. Racial economic sabotage.
Больше ожидал, если честно.
I don't go for that foreign piss. Proper booze is made in Mundi. Or sometimes I like a dram of that Yugograd vodka. Koikos and worse much, but they do no booze. Look, I'm gonna be straight with you since you're my kin. I don't know shit, and if I did, I wouldn't tell you. You're a cop. I'm not an idiot. What do you think? I can't leave the lorry unguarded. Stuff's been getting looted lately. It's those little kips sneaking around at night. If they touch my stuff, the boss...
There was a bunch of spilled boxes in the back of a big lorry nearby.
Yeah, I knew that guy. He was an honest driver who loved this country. We were having a good debate about genetics at the Wheeling in Rags. Since he left, I haven't had anyone to talk to.
If they were getting drunk inside the Whirling in Rags, how could they know who broke into the lorry?
What? Aren't we allowed to say that he's a kips who do all the stealing around here? That's not road to science, man. Isn't it obvious? Fucking 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕚, that beady-eyed South Samaran. His little side business is a scam. I wouldn't be surprised if he was peddling drugs as well. Of course he's a lorry driver. What? He tell you he's just some simple businessman or some shit? He's selling his employer stuff after his tribe are natural liars. It's in their blood. He's your man, all right?
I wouldn't be so sure about it. Not until we've heard what 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤 himself has to say.
Guess so.
Пока. У тебя ничего нового?
Still here. Stuck in this damn jam, my man. What's up?
Да так. Да ты?
Everything's still cool here, officer. Drugs? I don't go in for that, officer. Drugs ruin. Unless you're into drugs, of course. In which case, drugs are excellent. Mwah! Tasty, tasty drugs. That's very cool. A lot of the coolest detectives do drugs. Sadly, I don't have any drugs on sale. Or at my home, or on my person. That's even cooler. You investigating that and all. But, I am not a lorry driver. I'm just a street vendor. I don't know anything about that. Who said that? It's the fat racist, right? I bet it's him. He has an agenda against me because I'm an immigrant who works harder than he does.
So you admit you're a lorry driver?
No, I just said I work harder and he's an asshole. Okay, maybe I'm a lorry driver too. A little. But that's not the most important thing about me. That's my day job. This is my dream. No, I just forgot. It's such a small part of my life. It's in the rear view mirror now. I'm climbing out of that hole with ingenuity. Nothing. I told you. I'm not a dumb guy.
And what
crowd? You know.
No, he wasn't talking about an abstract crowd. It was he doesn't want to talk about them. He's afraid.
No use. He's not telling us. He's too afraid. We need to take him to my station and ask him there. After.
Okay, look. There's bad people doing bad things here. That's all I know. Please don't get me into this mess. I spent 50...
Here we go. There's a tiny bit of truth on the table. Zoom in on it.
It's a she, okay? The other drivers call her the lady driver. You're better off staying away from her. The way they talk about her, she's no lady. I don't know. Maybe. If she is, I haven't...
It could be. She was strange. He's not ruling her out.
All of them. I don't know. I told you all I know.
Who exactly is talking about this lady driver of yours? The racist or the other one with the tattoos?
All of them. Even the ones who've left. I don't hang out with them. I don't remember who has tattoos. All right. I scored. Let's cap this off with a purchase. You can walk away from here with...
There's a pile of cheap sunglasses in a small box. A variety.
You like sunglasses, officer? I've got the latest styles.
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid for them with net worth. Go over and ask him. These are all boring. Boring third-rate ho-hum sung. Those UV stickers are almost certainly just there for the show. If anything, these lenses probably direct more UV light into your...
These are all first-rate sunglasses. Premium design, super material, very cool, UV resistant. These will definitely keep your eyes safe and cool while doing your dangerous police work.
Блин, 42. Да не.
No luck. All you find is this lime-colored cellophane visor, produced by a bargain sportswear brand called Amphibian.
Бля, я с лягушкой хочу.
Oh, that visor is perfect for you, officer. It'll definitely keep the sun out of your eyes while you're shooting criminals. Bang, bang! And all for a mere six.
I hope not.
You don't like it? Sure, Square Joe. No problem. Let's get you some real shades.
Abort. These are hideous. What's more, they don't even fit your face. You can feel them pinching your nose and chafe.
Damn, officer! You look like a mega secret spy. Very secret.
No, you are definitely not buying those.
Are you sure? But they look so good on you. You should think this through, officer.
Я верю, Кимуть, тебе. Минус логика, плюс восприятие. Блин, хочу этот козырек. А что у меня за шляпа? Ой, это я сейчас сделаю, да. Кстати, что тут? А, не по-новому просто пошли. Заново, вернее. Плюс 1 очко опыта за каждую проверенную сферу. Какую сферу? А, я и забываю их за 1 очко. Охуеть. Взрыв амфибия. Бля, я не знаю даже. Моя шляпа что дает? Энциклопедия плюс 1. А здесь что?
Stylish shades, huh? They'd be even more stylish if you paid. If he really wants to save the economy, he'd let you pay with net worth. Go over.
Да, типично. Ой, ну да. Так, это надо в среду проверить. Я, наверное, заканчиваю, сейчас буду уже.
Hello again. How can I help you?
Какие-нибудь записи 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤𝕤.
The 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic sounds.
Блядь.
Or birds, for that matter. How interesting. Well, it's been a long while. Once knew a group of young musicians who decided they didn't want to play music anymore and started looking for all kinds of interesting sounds instead. Cool or not, one of them was obsessed with recording the 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤𝕤, and he was one of those passionate people. We thought we did. We got together all these recordings of unusual sound patterns. Unfortunately, I don't have any recordings from my old life.
Do we really have time for this?
Да.
This recording comes from down the coast. Wasn't looking to record anything specific. Just left a recording device there one morning. Keep in mind, I have to slow this one down enough to make sounds well over 200 kilohertz audible to the human ear.
As the hum grows louder, modulating but always unnaturally uncomfortably low, like it's coming not from the speakers. Not good. Not good. You're about to start suffocating. You have to stop this. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but also surrounding you. It feels as though someone is standing just outside. He nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched sounds, some random, some appearing to form seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
And skewers, but
A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling.
you know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers, it's not the 𝔻𝕚𝕬𝕤𝕚. Wrong patterns, wrong photons. Probably some insect trying to sing higher than its predator.
Понятно. Блять, потерял хп просто на этой хуйне. Ах. Да. А что мне теперь-то делать? К трупу, наверное, пойду. А, к дамочке нужен точно. Эти все стоят, блядь. Ну вы клоуны или что? Так что? Понял.
I have really...
Yes, that's...
René! Hello, officer. How might I be of assistance?
Номер
Let me
знаешь.
think. I heard someone was hanged and left on a tree for a week. But that's all I know, really. No, officer.
Then help them, you wimp. You have plenty of shoulder with the ghost caviar in the Union.
He means caviar socialists.
I wish I could, but I just don't know anything. I always keep my nose clean and don't gossip.
Respect?
I'm not even anyone.
Of course he's holding back. His mouth is so full of you.
Can I at least finish my fucking sentence before you piss on it? Is that okay, René? I'm not anyone important in the Union. I just know 𝔻𝕝𝕬𝕤𝕚. Everyone in Martinez knows the 𝔻𝕝𝕬𝕤𝕚 brothers.
What do you know about history? You never witnessed history. Only heard about it years later, when it had already moved on. You don't know history.
The old soldier mumbles something under his breath and turns. There he stands, proud, rigid and alone, like a cracking marble statue.
Let's try not to get caught in a crossfire.
Lest we leave riddled with bullet holes. This animosity is...
Oh, in many ways, yes. Like an honorary member. I attend meetings and parties, not in the technical sense. I don't have a vote.
Of
Но они не
course he's
помечены,
not a
как будто я
member.
читал. Но я
He's
это
not a member of
помню
anything.
откуда-то.
I hate the socialist rabble. But even siding with them is better than living your...
Writing work mostly. Occasionally, he needs something written. Oh, nothing official, I assure you. Just essays for the newspapers.
Well, he tells his little pen man exactly what to say. It's commie propaganda, plain and simple.
I don't even consider myself a regular socialist. Politics is not really something I involve myself in, officer. I prefer highly adaptable myself. Has a better ring to it, don't you?
Mon Dieu.
No, thank you. For being consummate professionals.
Нет, не буду его сэндвич кусать.
Watch out, Gaston. It's Inspector Oath. Come to throw more of our stuff into the sea, officer.
See, René, I told you he was...
What is this? Are you mocking us? This isn't for pétanque.
Now, no need to get angry again, René. I'm sure the officer tried his best. It's not like there's a bull kiosk here in Martinez.
That's how it is, huh? Fine. I guess you did attempt to right your hooliganism. Consider it forgiven. It's a bell McGrave. 4.4. This one's inoperable. The bolt spring is missing and the mechanism is jammed shut. Still a beauty. Where did you find her?
Это мое ружье.
I understand. Unfortunately, I don't know what else to tell you. These BMs are an antique. No one uses them anymore. The ammunition is imp-
Благодарю за беседу. Мне похер.
The worn and beaten wooden planks of the bench do not look.
We can sit on benches after we've solved the murder.
Согласен.
The worn and beaten.
Ну, пойдем, что ли. О, книжуля. Привет.
Hello?
Кто такая?
Me? No one. I'm just a working class woman.
She doesn't really want to be disturbed that much. If she's such a working class woman, why isn't she working?
Not all the time. Right now I'm browsing books. Even a working class woman needs something to read.
Славно, славно.
It is.
Я полицейский.
I know you are.
Помощь полиции
What
нужна?
with?
This citizen thinks she can do without your assistance. Don't buy it. They all need help.
Может, у вас муж пропал?
Her hands move over the book covers. The tips of her fingers look rough, stained with yellow. It seems like she has spent a lot of time at work, smoking.
My husband? No, he's not.
И где же он тогда?
I don't know. At home
Ну
now,
вот он.
out drinking with his friends?
Where is this going, officer?
Yes, but I don't really need to know where my husband is.
Зачем за
Not
ним
all the
следить вообще?
time. No. Why are we still talking about this? I haven't lost my husband.
А у кого муж-то потерялся тогда? Я не понял, что.
She has, though. The husband is totally
В
lost.
натуре.
You should tell her that it's...
Тише, крошка. Всё хорошо.
What? Who said anything about shame? Stop talking down to me. My husband is not missing.
But he is. You can feel it. Or maybe it's something
Может,
else.
дети пропали. Может, из какаду
I
пропал?
don't mean to disrespect, sir, but you are being a bit of a cockatoo here.
For what it's worth, I agree. But cockatoos can't be stopped when they're It's better to indulge him at this point.
Я спрашиваю вас о вашем
I
какаду.
don't even have a cockatoo. And guess what?
It's a trap. Never ever say what.
Ладно, какаду не пропал. Я просто хотел
Great.
убедиться.
Nothing. Go read up on them if you're...
Maybe you should. What if the cockatoo is your identity? Or your
Геральдическое это
bird?
что это вообще такое?
Wonderful. The store is open.
А чё я на чё согласился-то? А, прочитать про них. Может, у вас дети пропали?
No, absolutely not.
Да, и где же
Are
они?
you a policeman or a nanny?
Нянька, дядя.
They are not missing, sir.
You know where they are. They're at home, smoking, giving the ladder of vices a chance.
Курит сигарет.
That's just... My daughters are perfectly fine. They're with their friends down in... They're almost grown up now anyway. They're past the age they need me protecting them from everything now.
Сколько лет им?
My youngest girl, Jolie, is just shy of 16. Jenny, she is turning 18 next month.
Как они
Why
выглядят?
do you need to know this? Haven't I repeatedly told you that they're not missing? That they're in Shamrock, safe and well, at some stupid party?
Сука, мне интересно, к чему это приведет теперь.
There is no investigation here. I can tell you that.
Okay, it must be asked then. What are you doing here?
Отъебись от меня.
Why are you pursuing this?
Я, блядь,
Is it a
хочу расспросить, что за милая женщина такая. До
The
свидания.
woman before you nods.
Сука. Ким. Она не сказала.
Yes.
А почему я в книжный не могу попасть? Видеть свою героическую птицу. Блядь. Давай. О, привет.
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Книгу
A
про
book about
какаду ищу.
cockatoos? There should be one upstairs, right next to the shelf of biographies.
Пока, торговка. А где она сказала? С биографиями? Это что?
Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels
С
featuring
детективами?
shelves full of
С
biographies
биографиями.
of famous people, whoever they are.
Книга величайших светоч. Меня заинтересовало. Бля. 4,70, сука. Нет, я не буду покупать. Здесь, значит.
This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range. Amidst the various books, you find one written. These three things are the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people various paranatural books still litter the shelf.
Я не хочу покупать. А где про какаду?
Several maps. The maps look
Это я
old.
видел. Вот он.
A sulfur-crested cockatoo sits on the cover, its beak slightly open. It looks as if the bird is calling out the book title, From A to Zurich, a guide to a well-behaved cockatoo. Turns out that there are so many different cockatoo species, and they
It's a must-have if you own a cockatoo. I've heard they're quite capricious.
За тобой следит разозленная хозяйка магазина. Блять, 58%, я должен ее спиздить. Я должен ее спиздить. Какие 4 бакса? Да попробуем.
You wait for the storekeeper to be distracted. When she's not looking, you haul the tome of... It's quite a challenge, but eventually, the guide to the cockatoos is yours. Splendid effort.
Сюда. Че скажешь? Видал? Видал, как я ее обдурил,
Yes.
а? Взаимодействовать в инвентаре. А, ёб твою мать, долбоёб. Книга различных видов какаду, по-моему, забушка.
A cockatoo is a parrot with an erectile crest, found on the Seminine Islands and in southern Fas al-Amer, known for their intelligence and general precociousness. This book talks about the delicate nature of toos, as well as introducing some of the most popular species among the bird enthusiasts. The funeral cockatoo. This is a yellow-tailed black cockatoo. Its specific name, Psittacus venereus, relates to its dark and somber plumage. This bird looks as if dressed for a funeral.
Королевский.
Perhaps the most impressive of all the species, the endangered major majestic cockatoo, is often described as the most flamboyant. In the words of poet-explorer Sir James Fournier, few birds more enliven the monotonous hues of the verdant forest than this big, bold, and beautiful species. Despite its banging name, the bang-bang cockatoo is actually the shyest of the species, common in almost all Seminese forests, as well as zoos and homes all over the world. Its plumage is mainly grey and white, The Seminole's name, Bang Bang, is thought to be of onomatopoeic origins. Where to even begin? All cockatoos are known for their needy natures, requiring attention for at least 2 full hours a day. They love to talk and have been described as lovable clowns who just don't know how to wrap up. Pet owners also report moodiness, loudness, and hostility as recurring issues. If left unsatisfied, cockatoos may scream non-stop, pluck their feathers, or become aggressive. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo if you're not able to cook them food every day and give them the full care that they need. These birds will never understand that you have a life of your own.
Блять, обидно.
You're right. Cockatoos are magnificent creatures. They love to perform, cuddle, and show off. And would be not great for the neighbors. Performing? Yes, birdie. Yes, but all those cockatoo species are so different. Which one are you?
Бобка мудак. Как он? Покупату? Fuck up and cockatoo.
You're right. You're a fuckatoo embodied.
Да, это я.
This sorry-ass bird belongs on your heraldry. It probably doesn't even have feathers and only screams.
Ну-ка, ну вот и все. А что, мне надо книгу положить? Ну, я не хочу.
The worn map features the patchwork grid of the streets of Martinez, with directions to appropriately towards the locations.
Wait, what? А, я книгу-то положил, придурок-то. Не положил.
A cockatoo is a This book talks about the...
Я понял. Что
The note is written.
Не-не-не.
The worn map features the patchwork. Your finger moves through the various streets, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing.
Я тебя понял.
Advanced race theory. Everything is calm in the eye of the race storm. Your mind is lucid and bright. The mind-bending phylogenetics appear more distant and, to be fair, a little ridiculous. The great race mystery has cleared up. All that's left to do is verbalize your thoughts.
Интересно.
Hey, so we've been monitoring you internally, and now we know your copo type. Yes. Guess what's yours? Okay, just for the length of this short demonstration, please say something that isn't, I'm sorry. Guess. What is it? No, you're the sorry cop. The cop who's sorriest. Let's make it a huge lack of enthusiasm going on in here. Oh, you know, Apocalypse, Superstellar, the advanced interesting cop, liquid shadow cop. But you're too sorry to say those things. What? Jealous of the sorry cop? I think they'll be super fine. It'll be totally okay. You can dual copo type from sorry to anything.
Я придумал.
No, you don't. Come on.
Нет.
You'll be back to saying
Я
sorry
знаю.
in 2 minutes. Stop wasting time and begin the repentance.
Отъебись.
Wow. Okay. Fuck off. Maybe we were wrong.
В натуре заебал, хули ты меня, блядь, поносишь, уебище.
Hello again, esteemed doc.
Пока. Надо этой пизде рассказать. Здорово, Жиробасин. Ой, простите, это я не вам. Я к коду.
Excuse me? I don't know. The most talkative one?
Я поп-мудак.
What now?
Поп-мудак.
No, you're not. Don't think that way. You're just a regular talkative cockatoo. And let's leave it at that.
She doesn't want you to be the fuck-upper too. The woman before you nods and returns.
Никто не хочет, чтобы я был поп-кабудак. Так. Вот мы и пришли. Здесь я сохраняюсь. И на сегодня заканчиваю. Так что, да. Ой, еще нужно ведь это самое, вот. Завтра подрублю Нио. И может быть даже что-нибудь еще. Но не уверен, кстати. Опа! Мне дали... Ебать, мне разраб ключ прислал на... Подожди, это на то, о чем я думаю? Да, 𝔻𝕚𝕤𝕤 in a single volley. You've got a key. А когда она выходит? А, подожди, это Early Access. Блин, а я не очень хочу Early Access. Когда она выйдет там? Ну-ка. Ладно, разберусь потом. В общем, все, ушел.